Alright, motherfuckers, we
Back
back.
at it again.
This is the 2 Cents You Call It podcast.
One time for the one time.
I am your host, X, and I'm here with my brother from another mother, Dub. What's happening?
What's happening, my brother?
Hey, man, you know
we
what
are
it is.
back on another Friday night for episode number 84.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what it is. You can catch us on YouTube at the 2 Cent You Call It podcast. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can see every single time we post. Also, for your listening pleasure, we are on whenever I get around to it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music, busting out your eardrums every single week. First things first, my brother. What you sipping on?
I am sipping on cognac and dark soda.
You are sipping on a very
Controversial?
no, I was gonna say popular in our community, a very popular cognac.
Yeah. I leveled up though.
Yeah,
just to see.
Got the higher.
I tried it at one of my old friends. My friends in my old school.
You don't even go here anymore.
She got invited to her boss's Christmas party, and I was her +1 that year. And her boss's husband worked for that company, so he had all the bottles and stuff like that.
Okay,
So
I don't know if he actually worked for the company.
Yeah, so he had a stash. So he let me try out the stash. So I was trying to figure out which one he had because that was actually a pretty good bottle of it. So I just bought that one and was trying to see if it was that. That's why I only bought the 375 of it. Gotcha. I wasn't going to invest in it all the way.
Gotcha.
But what you got over there, my brother?
I am sipping on just whiskey, and it is a watermelon mix. So a watermelon drink. So just whiskey and watermelon, man. That's now that I said it out loud, I feel like it was kind of
a strange mix.
Not even a strange
mix.
A
little. I guess you could say this is a very, very February drink combination.
Very Black History Month of us.
Yeah.
Man, how was your week?
Man, week was it was solid, man. I can't complain about anything. It wasn't nothing spectacular, at least not that I can actually identify. But
it's a very eventful week.
It was.
This is the man. First of all, we are definitely getting old. Second of all, I think this is the first week that I've had, and I hadn't even asked you about tonight because for those who don't know, usually
it wouldn't happen.
For those who don't know, usually we do the show and then we go out after the show. Like Friday night is a whole show night, but this week was very social.
Yes, very much so.
We had 2 different events. One was on Monday, and then one was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I'm tired.
I'm tired as fuck. Tonight, and then I got to get up tomorrow.
Yeah, got to get up tomorrow for another event. But I was just like, it made me think about it be people out here that do this on a regular basis. And even at our age, like I know people, like sometimes when I work, I see people,
be like, damn, you back up in here?
Yeah, like people go out regularly like this during the week, and I'm just like, it's a school night,
man. I mean, if I was a teacher, I guess I'd be getting. Well, are they still in school? Or they have they gotten out yet?
Nah, they ain't got that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, you go see a whole lot of teachers in that thing, showing their ass.
I'm just like, man, it's going out twice this week was a lot.
Very much so.
Spent way too much money.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Because, man, so last night was an event with a lot of ladies, and you know, when the ladies come out with us, we try to be gentlemen, and buy drinks, you know, here and there. Nope. And the here and the here and there turned into an all night thing.
Man.
And when I tapped that last night, I was like, God damn.
Yeah, my brother was like, go ahead, go for it. I came in there. I went to the bar. It was a lady sitting there. I kept my eyes straight forward. I ordered my drink and proceeded to leave the bar. I wasn't doing nothing for nobody.
It was. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a good time though. Very good event. Had a great time. But this week has been a very long week because that week. Oh, speaking of, so the first event was on Cinco de Mayo. How you feel about it? Because I keep seeing a lot of people talk about black people celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't think we know what we celebrating. Obviously, we don't, but we just there just to have a good time.
I don't even think that it's the fact of really. Let me say this. I don't think we be needing a reason to celebrate. I think it just be the fact that people want to get out and do stuff, like just be wanting to be outside, and I think that just gives you a reason to be outside. I don't think it's necessarily like, oh yeah, this is the holiday, and I'm gonna necessarily celebrate this particular holiday. I think it's just the fact that
it's an opportunity. To drink.
Because
like, hey, let's go out and do something.
It's like St. Patrick's Day. Like, people don't know what the fuck St. Patrick's Day is for.
I don't even know who St. Patrick is.
Exactly. We have no. I don't even think we know. Like, I just know it's an Irish holiday, or I think it's an Irish holiday because it's always like get lucky and the.
I think Patrick was Irish or something. I don't fucking know.
I will say this. I do. Everybody that do be outside on these holidays, I do want your ass to keep that same energy for Juneteenth, though.
I think they will.
We'll see.
I mean, maybe not the other cultures, but
no. I'm specifically talking about black people.
Oh, well, give them a reason to. They'll be out there. I ain't gonna say that.
I feel like I know where you was going with that. We not even gonna go down a rabbit hole. But in addition, it was crazy. I think the reason that this week was so damn taxing and exhausting is because that was on Monday. Mm-hmm. I ended up having a 3-day training Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. In addition to that, I worked Tuesday nights as well. So I was in training during the day Tuesday, and then that night I had to work, turn right back around Wednesday morning and get up for training, and then go to training yesterday, which was Thursday, and then the event last night.
Man, well, you was in that thing.
Yeah.
Having the time of your life. Say, go ahead and get him. Go get him, dude. I'm going to sit right here.
Hey, and it was actually a 180. I hate, one of my biggest pet peeves.
People say they did a 360.
If you do a 360, you're in the same fucking spot. Stop saying I did a 360.
Hey, some people did do the 360.
Because if you did, I hope you didn't.
They don't be giving a fuck.
I will say between Monday and Thursday was a complete 180 because Monday, brother, you saw me at the event and I was. Let me explain this too while we're on the subject. I personally, and I think we both have these traits, but I personally am an introvert that can be extroverted at times. Like I have very extrovert qualities when I'm out and about. But at heart, I am very much an introvert, and I think people saw a little bit of that on Monday because my social media was not. It just I didn't have it. I didn't have it.
They saw my introvert on Monday and Thursday. Probably gonna see it tomorrow too. He would just be talking to me. I'd be like, all right.
I had the energy last night, and it was more so. I think it was more so that I actually was drinking last night. Okay. And I didn't really want to drink on Monday because I had to get up Tuesday morning. The rest of the week, yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I don't work on Fridays, so I could kind of have a few more drinks last night. So.
A few. Motherfucker.
Nah, but it was last night was a good time, but it did make it definitely made me realize that number one, I don't go out like that, and number two, I don't know how other people do it because that was a lot.
You been any new prospects, anything like that?
At the party?
Yeah.
Now it was thick in that party. I will say it was thick in that party. It was definitely active, and they was out looking.
I tried to put you on one, but
we're not gonna do that on the show. We're not gonna do that on the show because y'all ever had somebody in your life that tries to set you up for failure?
Nah, not failure.
I try to set this man up for success every chance I get.
Nah. I try to set you up for success.
No.
I had to try to give you a different aspect of life.
No. Okay. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy when I try to give you a different aspect of life.
All right. I will. I'll be like, all right, cool.
Keep that. And I got two people in mind right now.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, I got somebody in mind too. I'm be like, nah, I got a girl. Sorry. She told me to start getting serious about her.
Did she now? Wait.
Nah, she didn't say. I'm just talking shit.
Oh, I was about to say you failed to mention that we've seen it.
No.
How is that going, by the way?
It's going well. We've been chopping it up a lot. Okay. And I actually went to go. I guess we can get to that a little bit later when we talk about moms and stuff. But yeah, it's been good, and we had a conversation. And I was telling her to date other people still, not to get all fixated on me.
Now, do you think that is because I feel like the art of dating is lost these days because I don't think people really understand what dating means. Because I feel like our generation doesn't really understand that there is a dating period. I think growing up, especially I can remember coming up in like high school and college, it was either we talking or we go together, like we're exclusive. But I don't think people really understand that there is an actual dating phase. Especially if you communicate the fact that we are dating in this moment. That means that we're going on dates, but we're also not exclusive. Like I'm also seeing other people and entertaining other dates until
we get to that point where we decide that it's going to be.
So what's your take on it? Do you think that is there such a thing as a dating phase, and do men and women understand it?
I think it just depends on the person. Some people can handle it, some people can't. I know a lot of people say they can't date multiple people just because it takes so much focus to actually, quote unquote, learn somebody, which I can get, because you have to divide your time, and you don't have to be actively dating every single person. Like, okay, this period here, this period here. But then again, some people might feel a certain type of way if you stop talking to them for a minute or not go out with them for a minute because you're going out with somebody else. But I think as long as both people are open about it, and it's been discussed and mutually agreed upon, then it shouldn't be an issue. I still believe in it. What about you?
I agree with you on that. I personally think that, until I don't want to put it like that because I was about to say until you're married, you kind of single.
No, don't do that. Not with me. No, you're not.
But no, I do think that until you come to that agreement, and maybe that's where the issue is. Maybe it's because some people start moving at the level to where they think that this has already transitioned into something exclusive without having that conversation. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like communication is going to be key with that. Like, and I think checking in is a very necessary thing. And I think that's the part that's neglected a lot. I think sometimes you get into such a routine with somebody that you never really check in and be like, hey, are we still at that same level or have we moved to something else? What do we plan on doing? What are the expectations there? Yeah. And do you... Okay, so I got another question for you because I don't want to put nobody business out there. Do you think that sometimes as men we set unrealistic expectations?
As far as,
for instance, when you're in a dating situation, like I've seen it a lot of times, right? You pull out all the stops of, taking her here and spending all these kind of time here and doing this on a regular basis, but you're doing all of those things to solidify like the relationship and solidify like to bring that person in. And not only from a man's perspective, I think from both perspectives, like from a woman and a man, like you're putting your best foot forward initially. But sometimes do you think that you do so much to where it's not sustainable, but you also have set that expectation that it's going to be there? And that's sometimes what fucks up a relationship?
Yes. I think that a lot of people do that. I don't think I've ever done that, though. I don't mind, I went on a couple $100 dates and stuff like that. But even then, I would be like, oh, yeah, this is not normal for me. And then the next time it's gonna be scaled back, and it's gonna be scaled back some more. Scaled back some more. I was like, oh, I can go here for free. You want to go over here? Right. That's what we gonna do. Right. Then we go do this and stuff like that. Even like carnival dates and stuff like that. Just cheap stuff. I have to let people know straight up, I am not a baller. I am not tricking on nobody. I'm doing this just out the kind of my heart.
So here's my question. Additionally, do you think that because you communicate that lessens the expectation, or do you think that you can still communicate, but even if you're continuously doing the thing, it's going to build the expectation of this is what it's supposed to be in a relationship?
If you continue to do it, then you're setting the expectation. Okay, that's what it's going to be, because nobody wants anybody that starts off doing stuff and then doesn't do it. If it's like one time thing every once in a while, then cool. But if it's this every time that we get together and I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and then one day I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore, then it's going to be like, what's the issue?
Okay, well, the question is, maybe that's the season. Maybe I'm in a season that I can continuously do this and this and this. And we as we get older, I'm realizing that life happens in seasons. And maybe in that season,
I'm broke, baby. Yeah, I ain't got it.
But no, seriously, like maybe I had a season where I was on top. Or additionally, like once the relationship progresses, right? So we're dating, we decide to be exclusive. Even at some point, we get to the point of marriage. Well, your lives are going to grow. In addition to that, the things that you have are going to grow. You might introduce kids at some point. So the everything that you had, all the time you had, all the resources that you had in the beginning, you may not have that 10, 15 years down the line because of whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Because we grew into a different space, because we had kids, because all these things. So do you think that sometimes women have a like the expectations are, or they have unrealistic expectations of like this is supposed to continue no matter what? Or not even women.
I want
both people, because as a man you could be saying that, oh man, when we first got together, you know, she was cooking and cleaning and she was, you know, doing this, and then, you know, you fuck around and have kids, or you fuck around and, you know.
Yeah. I think, and this is all speculation because I can't say for certain because I've never lived this. But it comes with,
you've lived through seasons of life. And
yeah,
you
but
know,
I mean,
you know that things change.
Well, the people don't be sticking around in my seasons that long, so be like, all right, it's cold. Bye. I leave.
I leave.
I think it comes with the understanding of each other, patience, and definitely love allows you to be more accepting of things and the changes. If you're not actually like locked in with somebody, then it's easy to just kind of go with the wind.
Well, I think communication too, right? Like, if I think the issue that we have is that you'll start to deal with something, or the season of life will start to change, and then you don't communicate that to the people around you, and so they are still, because you're not communicating, they are still expecting the same person, to show up day in, day out, and sometimes you're just not that same person, or sometimes you're going through a season like, I mean, we talk about it all the time. We have seasons of ups and seasons of downs. Yeah. And so in that down season, I think it's also important, even though you're having a down season, I think it's also important to make sure that you're communicating that down season. That way, you know, somebody knows, or not even communicating it in that season, but communicating that you have these seasons. So that way somebody, you know, the people around you that love you and care about you know how to proceed in those particular situations. Yeah. Not using it as an excuse, but also understanding that these things are going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely communication. It plays a big part. I just lost my train of thought. That's been happening a lot lately.
Well, it's probably because you went out 2 times this week.
And I'm getting old.
That part. We do have a couple of current events that happened recently. Yeah. There was a new pope that just got announced from Chicago. It is the first pope.
American.
Yeah, the first pope from the United States.
Yeah. Some people not excited about it.
What do you mean? I haven't seen a lot. I mean, I haven't really been paying a lot of attention to social media, so I can't.
He's it's a lot of people on the right that think that he's the woke pope or something like that. Okay. Because he is very love thy neighbor type. Not necessary for deportation in a inhumane way. Okay. And they say that he leans left. He's actually a registered Republican, but some people feel like he's not right enough and pro-American enough to be a pope.
Are these the same? Okay, so here's my question, because I feel like a lot of people on either side like to preach the whole separation of church and state when it's convenient, but then also come right back around to it and say, oh, well, we support these values and you know, politics should be rooted in these values when politics were never created upon these values. Like, and I don't know how much people know about the Constitution or history or anything. It literally, there's a clause that says that church and state should be completely separate.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, this should have the selection of this pope, the pope in general, should have no correlation with.
Yeah. But, people associate left-leaning things with being anti-Bible and everything like that. People are a little bit more progressive.
Which I think is crazy.
Yeah, because a lot of people on the left don't agree with a whole lot of stuff.
And a lot of people on the right don't even.
Yeah. It's just...
You're a Christian.
Yeah, it's like very extremes and stuff like that. And a lot of times people don't agree with helping the poor and stuff, but they want to be more like Christ and say that we should be more like Christ versus. And so it's definitely convenient when you want to say certain things and not act like it. And it's just a lot of word salad just to fit your whatever you feel like fitting. I feel like I just did a word salad right there.
Now, I will say that I did see on social media a lot of people were like, if you're not Catholic, why does it matter to you?
I mean, I don't care.
Well, I don't care either. But at the same time, it is history. And, I think that you can still appreciate something that doesn't necessarily directly affect you. I think that's the issue that we have with a lot of things. Like, we condemn people for caring about things that don't pertain to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, the situation doesn't necessarily have to pertain to you for you to appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just in anything. Like, whether it be religion, whether it be art, whether it be talent, whether it be sports, whatever. Just because it doesn't directly affect me doesn't mean I can't appreciate it. Like, I can appreciate the fact that this is a moment in history. Because it's something that we're witnessing that is, and that goes back to like the people mad about people celebrating Cinco de Mayo. Like, you don't have to be, and I'm not even gonna say Hispanic or Mexican, because a lot of them do not celebrate Cinco de Mayo. It's not a thing for their culture.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, you can appreciate something even though that it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, you can. For this, I mean,
like, don't get me wrong. I do not care. Like, I don't care at all who the Pope is. I mean,
they have pointy hats and stuff. I don't know, not to disrespect anybody's.
And going back, so I will say that I'm ignorant in what the Pope even does. Like, I don't even know really the purpose of the Pope. Like, and it's crazy because I went to, like, growing up, like, we went to Catholic school in like lower grade school. So I do know a little bit about Catholicism, but even then, I had no clue what the Pope was for. Like, I don't follow it. I do know that they have like a Netflix series called Conclave or something like that.
Okay.
And I know that it kind of explains a lot of that stuff. And I know when I saw everybody talking about this, a lot of people were saying, "Oh yeah, I need to go watch the show."
Okay.
But I genuinely don't care.
I might check it out just to see what it is and stuff. I
mean,
I know that they can't they don't keep their names. They name them something else.
Okay, so I saw that because I never knew that before. Like, they started talking about, and it did get me interested to go watch the series, because I was just like, why? Like, what would?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just a title. It's supposed to mean something.
Then, like, who picks the name and how do they get it? Like,
well, I guess what do they call it? The Cardinals. Yeah. Because they're all Cardinals, I guess. Well,
you know, they just shake it up and be like... I'm about to really show... I'm a bit of a nerd. When I was thinking about all of this, you know what it made me think about?
What?
Avatar. The last Airbender.
Why?
Because if you go back and watch, it's like one of those things where they have like a council of people that pick like the next Avatar. Okay. Or not that pick the next Avatar, but that kind of see like they're responsible for the Avatar in their particular discipline. Okay. Whether like because you know that the next cycle is coming from a certain tribe, and then you have that council that kind of like deciphers through and finds the next one. So
why'd you say like the Black Panther? I would have thought you would have went to that one before.
That's a little different, but yeah, I could draw the same correlation.
But you know, all the churches really do that. Like even individual churches, you have your elders. That does make sense, yeah. And they decide who's gonna be the next pastor. They're gonna choose this.
That's one thing. You know, that's one thing about religion for me. I think that if we would stop, if we wouldn't be so fixated on how we differ, we would realize that we are a lot more the same than we are different.
That is, yeah. I mean, I don't try to force my religion on anybody. Mm-hmm. And even when I discuss faith with other people, I don't think that they have the opportunity to actually sway me off of my foundation just because I'm just so solid in my foundation. Mm-hmm. But that's one of the things that I do enjoy about our organization is that it's not necessarily one denomination. Now, majority of us
are, yeah,
of that. But now we don't make it a point to do that, and I think that's what confuses people from the outside, mm-hmm. and they think that something's there that is not really there.
Now, I do have a question because I think it's becoming I think it's something that has become a thing in millennials and down. Mm-hmm. Do you find yourself being more spiritual than religious these days?
Because no.
Okay.
I thought I was going that route, but I'm definitely more religious. I don't even want to say religious, but I mean I definitely follow a religion. Mm-hmm. And it's because I just got back into the church, and I felt like I needed it. Because when you get too spiritual, I think when people are spiritual or too spiritual, in that context, that's where you start drifting a lot more. Mm-hmm. And you're more susceptible to other disciplines that may not necessarily go with your faith.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay. But in that same breath, so let me ask you this, because we talked last show about going to see the movie Sinners, mm-hmm. and I feel like a lot of people that were very spiritual very religious, mm-hmm. Stated that was a movie that Christians shouldn't see.
I think it's always going to be those movies that say Christians shouldn't see. A lot of people said, as a Christian, you shouldn't see the Book of Clarence. Mm-hmm. But I think
still haven't seen it.
It's a good movie.
I wanted to see it. I just
it's on Netflix.
Okay, I might see it. I might check it out.
But even with that one, I think a lot of people had an idea of what it was going to be. Mm-hmm. In a sense, it was that spoiler. But it actually ends up being a movie about faith. So the main theme of it is this guy named Clarence who happens to be the brother of...
Are you about to spoil the movie for me? Because I haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did say that. But this is a movie. It's about a
no,
man.
you can go ahead because it's been out long enough. That's my fault.
Nah, I ain't gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna go around it. Okay. It is about a man named Clarence that happens to be the brother of Thomas, one of Jesus's apostles. Yeah. And he doesn't believe in Jesus. He just thinks that he's a con man and all this stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to think about that from the perspective of he's Thomas's brother, right? So he's living in the time. Mm-hmm. Now think about that if we was today, right?
And somebody was and like,
and me and
like,
you was cool. You'd be like,
yeah. What you doing? You owe some shit. You were one of them.
You probably at this point we probably would have thought Jesus like crackhead or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
bro, you tripping.
But to bring it back around for my Christians that are afraid to see this movie, his thing is he doesn't want to believe that there is a God. He wants to know there's a God. So
and I think that's relevant though.
Yeah.
I think that's relevant in a lot of our lives. Sometimes you walk by faith, but in other times you'd be like, well, damn, like it's one of those things that you want to know for certain, but and you want to see it. But I tell people too, like we don't see oxygen, but we know it's there.
Yeah,
like you breathe it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm more, because in my recent years I tend to be more faith based and spiritual versus religious. So I'm not saying I don't feel like one is right over the other, because in the end I feel like you can get to the end and you might not have been, what you believe might not have been right. But I think that, if your heart was in the right place and if you feel like you tried to do the right thing majority of the time, I would hope that you'd be rewarded for it if that's the next step.
Hey, my brother.
And whatever it is,
It's everybody's walk is different. I don't think that you could put people's faith all in a single box.
Yeah.
I just think I'll say this: religion is a little bit more structured, and for some people that works more. It gives you a better moral code to live by.
Yeah.
And it being spiritual, I mean, you can still have the same morals and stuff like that.
Right.
It's just a little bit more free.
Yeah.
But y'all don't care about my religious takes. Shut up, nigga. You over there drinking and shit.
Right.
Cussing, motherfucker. You just talking about how you were fucking up? Nah.
Nah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. He without sin cast the first stone.
I shall smoke it. Nah.
there's a new statue in Times Square, New York. I have no fucking clue what's going on with it.
I don't either.
Why is it there?
I have no idea.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not either. It's just, but it's there. It's like it was.
And then because the headlines came up like it just appeared. Like somebody wrote that bitch up.
Just dumped it there.
So that's a good question. Like, where did it come from? Like, was it built in the place that it is? Or like, how did you? I have so many questions.
Man, I guess this is why we should read articles before we get on the show. Try to talk about it.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
These are raw thoughts, y'all.
I'm pretty sure the people that are listening and watching are thinking the exact same thing.
Like, dumbass, this is why somebody in there, like, this is why it's there. They did this.
Anybody that's watching the show, I guarantee you they don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, but here's the thing. Like, I feel like, first of all, I feel like the media plays in our face because things are controversial just to be controversial, right? Mm-hmm. Like, here's the thing. So if it wasn't just rolled into place, which I don't think it was, because it looks like statutes are built, right?
Yeah.
Who the fuck didn't know that it was gonna be Bertha in the middle of Times Square?
Why you gotta call her Bertha?
I'm just. Who the fuck didn't know Jackie was about to be in? like, you know, like I said, these things are built, right? Yeah. So somebody would have had to see this thing being worked on before it was revealed. So my question is, why is it just now a thing now? And where did it come from? And who's the visionary behind this? Like, why? What happened?
Hey, they just wanted to put it on for our sisters.
And on the other hand,
this is what we look like.
Okay, so on the other hand, here's my thing, because I'm a part of a whole bunch of different groups on Facebook. One of them happens to be like a gym group, like a fitness group. Mm-hmm. And you bitches out there that's about to say some shit, I lift a lot of weights. So that's why I'm a part of the gym group. But why did you start tucking your shirt just now?
No, because I felt like my titties were showing and stuff. I can't see over it.
No, so I know we be mad at anything. I'm not gonna lie. These days, sometimes we be mad at anything because then people's like, "Well, who's to say that this is what black women look like?"
That's what a lot of black women look like.
But at the
I'm not saying most. I'm just saying that's a portion of.
Regardless, you looked at the statue and you knew she was black. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, she had braids, so I mean.
But what I'm saying is, I'm saying is, regardless, like, again, shit cannot have anything to do with me, and I can appreciate it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that look like my family? Maybe not. Or does that look like it might not? Or does that? Or does that look like somebody that I aspire to be? Maybe not. But at the same time, I can appreciate the fact that it is something that's diverse. It is something that you understand the representation behind it. Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes I think we're too critical of how we display how if we don't see something that is a direct representation of what we think it should be, then we have so much controversy behind it. And I'm like, man, again, you don't have to agree with everything to be appreciative of it.
Yeah, it's cool for everybody to get love. I mean, and fuck it, everything's not about you.
That part too. A lot of people have main character syndrome, and y'all got to get out of that shit. Like, everything is not aimed towards you. Everything ain't about you. Yeah. You know, like what if somebody that looked exactly like that needed the representation or was requesting the representation?
I want a statue to look like me at my high school. Make that happen. We didn't even switch cameras. Make that happen.
I mean, I could.
Well, you can do it later.
You about to have somebody go back trying to find your fucking high school profile pictures. Trying to see.
I probably had one just with a shirt off somewhere. I ain't walked around with my shirt off in a minute.
Gee. Hey, summer coming.
Hey, I lost. Damn, my mom was down like 20 pounds, bro.
I'm proud of you.
In like a week.
I don't know if that's healthy.
Well, no,
I went from being proud of you to being like,
I did my checkup, and I was 270.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't even a checkup. It was just to go refill my medicine, get a new prescription.
I am proud of you for doing that.
I appreciate that. And now I think like 254.
Okay. Good for you.
It's been 2 weeks. maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, something like
that. I will say it definitely shows, brother.
But yeah, I wasn't like these past because my glucose was up, so I was like, oh shit, let me make sure I ain't pre-diabetic and shit. So I wasn't doing carbs and sugars. Been cutting out a little bit more red meat.
Okay.
And then I mean, my medicine really doesn't make me that hungry. I think it's a little.
Oh yeah. I think I remember you saying when we first started talking about like the medication. I remember you saying that it was like a hunger suppressant. Mm-hmm. Like you don't really get hungry on it
because that's a symptom of depression is just eating and stuff. So might eat like once or twice a day.
Okay,
well, once a day really, and then twice if I'm doing something like I may need something to eat to get this alcohol.
Nah,
I'm gonna tell you something, my brother. I appreciate you making sure that I got home by calling me
yesterday.
Yeah, but I was trying to enjoy my May, and you was interrupted.
Trying to enjoy what?
My May.
Your what?
May.
Your May.
Yeah.
Oh. Yo.
I was like, this motherfucker will not quit. It's like, shit, I'm good, bruh.
Yo.
I am good.
Yo. That's crazy work right now. Yeah, some of y'all will get there, some of y'all won't.
Happy May, my brother.
Happy May. Speaking of which, that does bring us to our main topic about.
I don't know how this.
No, because yeah.
Well, no, wait, hold up.
No. I'm talking about trying to make sure that
Oh, okay, all right, cool. Because I saw some other shit on there. I was like, okay, how do you get to that? And then I saw the next line. I was like, no,
yeah, we skipping on that shit.
No.
So I've man, a lot has been happening around me, and I feel like we got to touch on this topic because I feel like it's very important, especially when and don't get me wrong, like when you're about to hear me say this, I'm not saying that nobody else goes through it. I'm just speaking from the perspective that I have because we are this, right? Mm-hmm. From a black man's perspective. I can only speak from a black man's perspective because that's what I am. You ain't shit. The having a support system, man, and having a genuine support system, because I feel like as a man, number one, and then as a black man, number two, mm-hmm. I feel like so many support systems are superficial. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people, and I want your take on it too, because in my opinion, a lot of people are only around you and only fuck with you like that for what you can do for them. Excuse me. And while you can do it for them, right? Mm-hmm. Like, what do you feel as far as support systems and as far as loyalty when it comes? Because that's my perspective, right? I feel like there's only, when I think about my life and my past, and how I got to where I am today, I feel like I can see the fact that there's only a few people that really rock with you to rock with you. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of, I'm only in support of you as long as you can do for me or as long as you can show up for me. But when you're in a need or when you're in a crisis, I'm not. A lot of people aren't willing to return that support.
I think all relationships are somewhat transactional.
I would agree.
I think that a lot, the closest ones have a little bit more grace because you know that you're not always going to be on the receiving end of it. But even with the closest one, if you feel like it's somebody that you've been very close with, and you feel like you've been on the giving side for so long, and you never receive something, then you'll be like, okay, it's time to sever this relationship. So in that sense, like I'm not getting nothing from this. So even then, that's kind of it's transactional, but you're not getting a transaction, but it's granted because it was a one way transaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's all transactional, but it's just a little bit more grace. And I think the best relationships have that reciprocity. And it goes both ways. And it comes with understanding that a certain person needs a certain thing. And it may be that you need this type of transaction from me, and I don't need that transaction. But on this side, I might need this type of transaction, and you can provide that for me.
Yeah, I think that when it comes down, I think that we forget sometimes that friendships are relationships. And I think that sometimes when you think of the word or the term relationship, you think of an intimate one. You think of one between you and the partner that you're intimate with. And I think a lot of times we disassociate that with friendships, and friendships are relationships as well. And with that being said, I think just as in an intimate relationship, in a friendship, I have to understand who you are, and I still have to adequately understand how you receive love and how you give love. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes that's neglected, especially when we are in a moment of crisis, right? Because everybody, it doesn't matter, man, woman, black, white, whatever you are, everybody is going to go through a crisis or a few crises in life. And I feel like you find out who's really there for you and who is really in your corner in moments of crisis, right? Like, I feel like you find out who's loyal to you or who really supports you when you are in those moments of not being up, right? Because everybody wants to be in your corner when you're up and what you can do for them. But what happens when you hit a moment of weakness or you hit a low period in life and you're needing that support from other people?
I think that's when you find out who your real people are, when it's the thickest of things.
And why do we live in that culture? Like, why is it such a culture of I'm only rocking with you when it's up?
I think that's just. I think it's like the way it's always been. For, well, it's growing that way.
Like, why?
We come from a very tribal culture originally, but I think the freer that we've become, the more individualistic everybody's become, and the sight of struggle scares people away. And I don't even want to say scares. It's just.
Do you think do you think it's one of those things that's like, do you think it's because we don't communicate enough, or because we are not vulnerable enough with each other, to where we can say? Because I feel like when a lot of things happen to people, I feel like sometimes it hits so close to home that you disassociate because you don't want to deal with the feelings that would come from it for you. to be there for that, to show up for that person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I I would say that we are not vulnerable enough, but at the same time, some people are too vulnerable. And
to the wrong person, or just period?
Just period. Okay. I think we all know certain people that's like, okay, every time you've got something going on and you're always like the Debbie Downer. It's always just like we were like up here, your person. Yeah. And then you just brought everything down because you got this going on and you got this going on and stuff. Like, I feel sorry for you, but like, all right, come on, what are we gonna do about it? Or is it just gonna be a lot of moping?
Yeah, because some people just thrive on drama.
Yeah, so nobody wants to be around that person.
Agreed.
All the time. But I mean, you're gonna have those moments when you're like that. And I think that it goes back to just having that solid support system. You got to know the people that you put that on. Some people, they're just not going to be that for you.
So that makes me think, because I was literally having a conversation the other day, and I was just like, even when it comes to the circle that you have, everybody in the circle can't be everything for you. Mm-hmm. There's going to be certain people that you take certain things to. And I think it's more about evaluating each individual relationship and saying that, okay, this, because just as we talked about earlier, every relationship is going to serve a particular purpose. And that's not saying that you're using that person for that. That's just saying that people show up for you in different ways. And so when it comes to your support system, or when it comes to your circle, I feel like you're going to have those people that you can go to for a specific situation. Like, everybody doesn't access to me, in my opinion, access to you is a privilege. And if you share that privilege with too many people, it's no longer a privilege. And I think you should hold yourself in regard to the fact that this is a privilege. Like, if you are this close to me, it's because we have reached a certain level and you're important enough to be in this particular circle.
Yeah.
So I got a different question for you. Okay. Where does loyalty stop? Like, and I say that because too many times we see people fall out and stop being cool with each other, or stop having a relationship, stop being friends or family or whatever you want to call it. And then everything that we discussed, or everything that we have been privy to from the relationship, is now on the table. Where does loyalty stop?
And be honest with you, brother, I don't know where it is. Just being perfectly honest. Because I feel like there's been people that I feel have betrayed my loyalty or taken my loyalty for granted. And even now, it's still like, okay, I'm still somewhat loyal to them. And they may feel the same way. I don't know. We just don't speak anymore. But if somebody else was to speak on it, I'll be like, nah, don't do that.
So I'm asking for you individually, because not we can't speak for other people, right? But for you, where does that loyalty stop? Like, do you feel like, now that y'all are not cool anymore, everything is open season? Or are you still holding everything that person told you in confidence?
Yeah, I don't think, just for me, I would say it doesn't end. It's never going to be anything malicious from me. If you told me something in confidence, I'm not going to go back and tell somebody else like, oh, this is what happened. This is this, and this is this, and this is this. I may talk about it, But it's not gonna be in a malicious way. It's not gonna be in a way to taint your reputation or anything like that. It'll be more on my end of what I saw,
right?
Versus just throwing darts at you. So I guess I could say I'm a loyal person to a fault.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it just be easy to kick somebody back in? But I can't see myself doing it.
And yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like I feel like regardless if we cool or not in the moment, we were cool enough at one point for us to have those conversations and for you to confide in me. And I feel like loyalty lasts or should last, in my opinion, past a relationship. If that relationship tends to take a turn, even if that relationship ends in turmoil. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that in the moment or at that point, at one point in time, we were to a point to where you trusted me, I trusted you. And I think trust and loyalty should last past the relationship. If that relationship, for whatever reason, comes to an end.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. If you truly look at it, even with your current relationship still intact, if they see that your loyalty has faltered and you're doing the things to people that you've ended up not having a relationship with anymore, that weighs on the trust that they have in you.
Facts.
Now. So it's better to just do that. So I say loyalty stops at whenever the investigator says 5 to 20.
Facts.
It's like
facts. Facts. Because if don't put me in a situation where freedom is on the table, because your ass going to jail.
So you telling me if I sign this, I don't go? All right.
Yeah. No, I think that's legit. I don't think we have a top 3 for the show.
I did not think of one.
I didn't either. In lieu of that, Mother's Day is coming up this weekend, and I'm gonna say Happy Mother's Day. Shout out to our mothers, because both of them are amazing women.
Yes.
That have done a lot for us, and we appreciate them.
What was the top 3 we did with them? It was the top 3 things that we got from them, and the top 3 things that they saw in us.
Let's do it.
I'm trying to remember what I did on the show that got deleted.
Yeah, because we really wanted to produce that show, and I don't even remember what happened to that show. I think we recorded the whole show and realized that
it was on my hard drive. I don't think it saved to my hard drive.
Yeah. So Mother's Day, top 3 things
that we.
You can either say top. Okay, so this could be like a twofold.
Okay.
Top 3 things that you learned from your relationship with your mother, or top 3 things that she provided that you needed, you felt, you realized that you needed in life.
Okay. Top 3 things. Okay. I'm going to say resilience. She has lived a very rough life from childhood to adulthood. But to see her always putting up a fight, putting up a fight, regardless of what it is, for what she believes in, for her life. It gives me motivation to say, okay, life is not that bad. I've seen where I could be. I've seen the things that she's done for me, so I can keep on.
Okay. For me, I'm going to say patience from a standpoint of being, so people that know me in my personal life know that I can be very, with both my parents. So my dad versus my mom. My dad is a very impatient person. And I will say that a lot of his character traits in that regard I picked up. And my mom would be the exact opposite. Like, I feel like she has too much patience for me in certain situations. But it also taught me that because of her, like my mom's profession, she's been a nurse by trade, like for years and years and years. And so it taught me the compassion and it taught me the empathy to understand that you could easily be in a situation that somebody else is in. And you always need to make sure that you're looking at things from a lens of, I could be where this person is.
Got you. Okay. I will say that you're not always going to agree with people that you love.
You learned that from your mom?
Yes. Growing up. Me and my mom, we are extremely alike, very strong-willed. We will stand our ground on a certain point, to the point where it's like, all right, no, I'm not backing down. Agree to disagree. But even if we agree to disagree, it's still gonna be some words after the fact. But we love each other so much. She is my spiritual advisor, along with my dad. Anytime that I'm feeling like life is just getting too down on me, I go over there and she calls me Big Baby, because I will go over there and I'll just lay on her and she'll just hold me, and I'll be like, all right, cool. I'll be feeling good after that. So just a heads up, if you're going to be my wife, you'd be expected to be laid on all these pounds. However heavy I am at the time. But
well, you're lighter now, so you're good.
Yeah, just a little bit. Even though you love somebody, you can be just like them, but you're not going to agree with them all the time, and it doesn't change the fact that you love them, or it doesn't lessen it or degrade it because you have a disagreement. And sometimes, you just got to step away from it and then come back and then limit the time that you in the same space with them sometimes, because sometimes it's just going to, you're just going to bump heads.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll say for me that I learned that life is a balance.
Okay.
And I say that from the standpoint of, like, I watched my mom work hard majority of my life. She's in her, phase of, like, just enjoying life. Like, my mom is retired now, and she is the epitome of retired. Like, people think I travel. My mama stay gone.
Man.
And I will say that she taught me that balance. Like, she taught me the fact that it is very important to work hard. And that I think that's where her and my dad differ. Because she taught me the fact that it is very important to work hard, because both of them have very hard work ethics. But growing up, like, my parents got divorced when I was 11. And so after that, I saw the fact that my mom made it a point to also enjoy life. Like, also have those moments of traveling, have those moments of, like, yes, it's going to be hard, and yes, you have that time that you have to buckle down and just go get it. But you also need to balance that with the time of catering to self. So that is definitely something I learned.
Okay. This is something that I'm learning now from my mom. She is in a spiritual point in her life where she's asking God to reveal who is for her and
that talks
against
about
her,
what we just talked about.
even if it hurts her.
Man.
So it could be family, it could be friends.
Everybody.
Yes. But just
Everybody
reveal it to her so that she knows and how she can move accordingly. And that's something very uncomfortable.
Very much so.
Something that you don't want to deal with.
That's a whole nother topic that I feel like we can go another 30 minutes on. Just because it is one of those uncomfortable things. Mm-hmm. Realizing that some people are for a season and some people are for a century. Like that's real.
Yeah, it's been some moments where she's been crying because she's realized, okay, it's not for me. It's not supposed to be in my life.
And that let go, man, sometimes is because sometimes we make people permanent that should have been temporary in our lives. And God is like, this person has served their purpose and you're in the same point right now because you're trying to hold on to that person.
And then he'll make you realize it in a way that you didn't have to go through.
Man.
You would have just, yeah, my brother. My mama had some talks.
That's a topic. That's another topic. Yeah, that's definitely we gonna have to touch on that one again. I'll say my third that I learned from my mom actually goes with my second one, but I learned this by something that I think maybe not a mistake, but it's something that I observed that I don't want to repeat.
Okay.
And it's the fact that she shows up for everyone, even when that is not reciprocal. And that goes back to we were talking about reciprocity in relationships. And from watching her and watching that, I think that I realized that I don't want to keep people in my life that are not, that is not an exchange, right? Like, I don't want to keep people in my life that don't benefit from me and I don't benefit from them, but it has to be mutual. Like, it has to be to a point to where this is a transactional, and that doesn't mean that again, we can touch on this further in a future episode, but that doesn't mean that every period of this relationship is going to be
tit for tat.
Yes. It just means that I can't always be in a season of giving and never receive anything back. And I think I've watched my mom do that in a lot of different situations to where she's continuously pouring into somebody. But then when you see it on the other end, those people are not also willing to pour back into her. So I think that's something that I did learn that from her that I did not want to continue in my life.
Well, there y'all have it.
Y'all let us know. Please give us y'all top 3. It's Mother's Day weekend. Yes. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers that are out there.
My future baby mama.
We appreciate y'all. We support y'all. This day is for y'all. Please don't come back in June looking for your second day.
Please don't.
Because we're going to celebrate the fathers that are out here doing what they're supposed to do.
She has a dip.
As always, you can agree with us. You can disagree with us. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Father, fuck you.
At the end of the day, this
is motherfuck you.
Oh, yes. That's crazy. At the end of the day, that's just our 2 cents on the man. Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.